Hey everybody, it's me. I'm Mr. Waffles. I'm that YouTuber. We're gonna be reacting to art tips. So let's go right here. Let's watch. Should we watch videos or shorts? I'm thinking of shorts. Okay, let's go to the first art tips.
Here are 4 tips for sketching to make your art look as good as this.
First off, don't obsess over expensive art supplies. As an example, whatever this was used to make all of One Punch Man. For the next tip, when starting a new sketch, try not to choke your pencil out. To keep your sketch light, try increasing the lead length, and then hold the pencil a little bit higher, like this. Leading to the next tip, don't start your sketch off really dark, or else it's gonna be really hard to erase and fix. Make sure you start off light so you can easily fix mistakes. For the final tip, if you guys really want to improve, try drawing with a ballpoint pen. Since this is permanent, you will easily see all of your mistakes.
Here are 4 tips for sketching to make your art look as good as this.
Okay.
Guys, I'm telling you, this one mistake can
That other video was probably like a 8 out of 10. That was good.
absolutely ruin your art. I know that you guys have all worked on a piece for super long and then you see a mistake later. A lot of beginners are really scared to use their eraser, but don't if it's a tiny mistake. Fixing this will make a huge difference. And I know how hard it is to erase something you've worked hard on, but look at the results. Oh, and if you made a mistake, put an eye patch over it. Guys, I'm telling you, this one.
Here are 3 art tips for drawing the hair so your characters don't look like they're wearing spaghetti on their head.
The first tip is making sure that you know where the hair part on your head is. Do this or else it will look like you with bedhead. I recommend on a separate layer marking where it is, and then just make sure all of your hair strands are leading up to it. For drawing hair strands, make sure that you're not drawing the same pattern every time. It looks like you're copying and pasting Doritos on their head. So instead, to every couple of hair strands, add more variation so that it looks more interesting. Now you guys better use these tips or else this is the only hair she's going to be allowed to get.
Here are
Digital art sucks,
10
so
out
here are
of 10,
3
just
tips I
because
wish I
it's
knew
funny,
before I
it's
started
not
drawing
gonna make
digitally.
sense.
Finding a reliable set of brushes is really important for getting your desired look. Just like finding good supplies in real life, it's really important to do so digitally. Stop spamming undo when you sketch. You're never gonna get the perfect line, and you waste a bunch of time. That rhyme was not intentional. And lastly, your first month or so is gonna feel really awkward and weird, so just be prepared to relearn everything you thought you knew. Digital art sucks, so here are 3 tips I wish I knew before I started.
So, confession time. I download.
Here are 3 more art tips so that you guys can paint really fast.
The first tip is don't zoom in no matter how cute it is. Not zooming in while you're sketching will make sure that you don't focus on little details that don't matter. The next tip is actually leaving your sketch layer in. This means you don't spend as much time on line art, and you can see the strategy being used by Sam Nazar. No, I sound like a mom telling you to clean your room, but keep your layers organized. This will keep you a lot more efficient. Hopefully now you can draw as fast as this.
I recommend watching.
Here are 3 more art tips so that
10 out of 10 because he has symbols up. Okay, I don't know why that came up. There you go.
If you're one of those people who's
I like
currently
to see the
experiencing
traffic.
art block and just can't figure out how to overcome it, then listen up, because here's 3 ways to regain that artistic motivation. The first thing you gotta try is creating something completely different to what you're used to, because I've seen many artists get into a trap of drawing the same thing over and over again, which can feel repetitive and restricting as if it's the only thing you're allowed to draw. However, tip 2 is when looking for new things to draw, don't obsess over finding the perfect reference image or the perfect idea, because while experiencing art block, the most important thing is to just get your pen on the page. And tip number 3 is to not become discouraged or overwhelmed when looking at the insane work of professional artists. Instead, focus on small improvements on your art one day at a time and only compare yourself to you. If you're one of those people
Art hacks you didn't know. Use a pencil to
even
copy
like it right
awesome
now.
rubbings.
What? Get weird.
Pop a sponge inside your cup for easier brush cleaning.
Oh, that makes sense.
Got leftover acrylic paint? Toss it in a bag with a damp paper towel.
Okay.
No more dried up paint disasters.
Oh.
Art hacks you didn't know.
You know, that's a,
Use a pencil
that's
to
a
copy
7 out of
awesome
10.
rubbings.
Here's an art tip. Life will be so much easier if you think of drawing as make.
Okay. Pretty good. I don't do digital art anymore. I used to, but I didn't post on YouTube that time. I do traditional art.
First put on blush under cheeks and eyes, add lipstick, put on eye contacts, then whatever this is. For the eyes, put on mascara, some eyeliner, and bottom lashes. Brighten up the inner corner. For the nose contour, start with the eyebrow, and then just curve it outwards like this. Add a shadow on the tip of the nose. Let's use concealer to brighten up the nose and mouth. Right, see the difference over here? Make the
Yeah, you
inner
suck. Let me get off that.
lips darker.
I'm gonna show you the best way to find your art style. I want you to think of your art style like your taste, and that you only know which food you like after you have tried it. Once you got that, it's very easy to do.
I can
Start by
draw
finding who
anything
your
I
favorite
want,
artists are.
everything.
If you're one of those people that wants to get better at coloring with markers but has no idea how, listen up, because here's 3 tips on how to color like a pro. Tip number 1 is to experiment with different coloring textures to add some more visual interest to your art. For example, here I'm creating the texture of seaweed by first laying down lots of quick brush strokes, then gradually laying down lighter colors to blend it out. Now tip number 2 is to never color elements that are next to each other with the same color. Doing this will just make them blend into each other and make them stand out so much less. So instead, try to apply different colors that complement each other, like green next to red and orange next to blue. And tip number 3 is to know where your light source is coming from. I often see artists incorrectly place their shadows and highlights, which just makes their drawings look wrong. So instead, decide where your highlights are going to be before you start coloring and make sure that it stays consistent throughout your whole drawing. And if you want to try these tips out yourself, I just posted a free coloring page on my Discord server.
But if you do, please mention that I'd like to have her turned up.
What are you doing?
That I stuck 10 times in his back.
Oh, support a young gold. Okay, I do that. Yeah,
For
I'm
I sing songs until the break of dawn. But if you do,
I wanted to be a ballerina.
A ballerina?
Yes.
Nice. Okay, that's just 10 out of 10 just because it looks so good. It's not art tips.
Today I'm going to be doing some...
Get off. No. Oh yeah.
Here's 2 art tips to make sure your faces don't look like this. The first art tip to make sure your faces don't look like is to remember the rule of thirds. If we look at Rumi, you can see that the distance from her hairline to the eyebrow is the same as to the nose and chin. Using this method will help you easily place the facial features. Even you can't mess this up. Next, while you might have good facial features, you have to remember that the eye will squish if it's in the angle. This eye will be more squished while this one has more surface area, so it will be stretched. So if your faces still look like this, practice makes perfect. Here's 2 art tips to make sure your faces don't look like this. The first art tip to make sure
how to draw and improve fast. This is PewDiePie, and he went from drawing like this to this.
Yeah, I know.
And in this video, I'm going to show you some tips how you can improve fast too. So let's get started with the first tip. Tip number 1, study from references.
Yes,
especially if you're a beginner, using a reference would help you understand proportions, lighting, and details. Tip number 2, use simple shapes. When drawing something, you want to break it down into simple shapes. For an example, circles, squares, cylinders helps you establish basic structure and proportions before adding the details. Tip number 3, use guidelines. Adding guidelines will help even more with proportions and help with understanding where everything should go, especially the face. And for the last tip, just practice. Like PewDiePie, just try drawing at least 10 minutes every day and you will see improvement. Comment for more art tips. How to draw and improve fast. This is...
If you're an artist...
Self-taught. Who just said...
How to draw and improve fast. This is PewDiePie, and he went from drawing...
If you're an artist who tends to love your sketches, but hate your final product, these...
A common mistake artists make when drawing anime is not using cat heads as reference, because obviously, this resembles this. Definitely not this. A common mistake...
Okay, I don't know what you're saying.
in America and...
What are you saying? What are you saying? God dang.
Many other countries, kids typically learn drawing using paper and pencils. However, in some cities in China and Japan, children are taught to draw using a unique technology. A light is placed under a table, and sand is spread on top. Kids are then encouraged to create amazing artwork with it. But you'll be surprised to learn that only wealthy children can attend these classes because the monthly fee is very high. Let's give a like to these kids. In America...
I wanted to be a ballerina.
Okay. Oh my God, bro.
How to...
No, already. Come on. Okay.
If you're one of those people who keep saying they're gonna get into drawing and you have all these amazing ideas but you still haven't put the pen on the page, I think this video is for you. Because this is now your final chance to sign up to my beginner-friendly doodling and coloring masterclass, where I teach you everything you need to know to start creating expressive character designs and amazing doodle artworks like these. But I know starting a new hobby can be scary, so I got you covered. Because as soon as you join, you'll get access to a community of over 11,000 artists, learning along with you, and a private community where I'll be giving you direct feedback along your journey. But registrations are closing very soon, so that drawing dream of yours is now or never. If you're one of those people who keep saying they're gonna get into drawing and you have all these amazing ideas but you still haven't put the pen on the page, I think this video is for you. Because this now...
all of these were pretty good, except for like 2, I think. I don't know. But all of these were pretty good. Like and subscribe if you like this content. You don't have to. You don't have to, but like and subscribe. We are at 8 subscribers, and my most viewed video is this. So is the I drew whatever flip. I don't care, but like and subscribe if you like these videos. And goodbye.